have question, very generic question. So since from 2021, we have ISO 21434 as a separate standard. And I believe that certain OEMs also would request a separate audit for the standard. So why would it be necessary to not only audit on ISO 21434 and include in ASPICE? So if they have ASPICE 3.1 and separately we have standard, then they can audit only for the standard for cybersecurity.
Okay, so if I understand your question right, as a part of ISO 21434, we have two kind of activities which are very important. One is cybersecurity audit, and the second one is cybersecurity assessment, right? Now, as a part of the cybersecurity audit, more or less an organization will be assessed for, the process related stuff. Like if they have a process in place, which will, let's say, which will enable the organization to develop a software or system which is cybersecurity critical. Okay. Now, your question is, since we also have this, apart from that, whenever a cybersecurity audit happens, normally whether these processes are audited or what is actually audited. Is that what your question?
Yeah, on the same line, yes.
If I understand correctly, you also mentioned why is there two separate audits, 21434 audit and why there is specific to ASPICE. Is that what you meant?
Yeah, means I am not sure whether separate or if we go for ISO 21434, we can show this as an evidence or not if we have this. So that's
okay. Let me take you back a bit into how it was done with the functional safety audits in the past. Yeah, because I think cybersecurity audits, as far as I know, some of the companies are already doing, especially these processes are also being assessed right now. Because when I speak to some principal assessors, they're already doing it in some organizations. So it's happening. Now the question is, whether if I assess this as a part of the ASPICE, is it sufficient for me to, show the evidence during the cybersecurity audit? It's kind of a yes and a no. Yes, in the sense, it is not to say that whatever I do here will go waste. Rather, I can reuse. Because at the end of the day, what is normally, checked during the cybersecurity audit? Again, they are only checking your cybersecurity related processes, in the sense, are you able to derive the cybersecurity related requirements in a right way, or are you able to come up with the cybersecurity concept or cybersecurity related architecture in an expected way? Are you doing the secure coding? Are you doing all the testing which are related to verify the cybersecurity related specifications and so on and so forth? So these processes, if you can see the engineering processes here, they are also defining or going in the same direction. Which means if an organization has already defined a process which is compliant to this landscape, cybersecurity process landscape according to the ASPICE, it will also help them in facing the cybersecurity audits. In that case, see, there are two things. One is, as an organization, I have to do certain activity related to cybersecurity and present the evidence. So there it's for me one-time activity, because I do the same activity here also to show the evidence. I also do similar kind of activity also for the cybersecurity audit. Now, when it comes to the audit itself, we need two audits because it is coming from two different standards. Because these particular processes are defined as a part of the ASPICE. So normally, when an OEM asks for the ASPICE assessment, in most of the cases, as long as the product is related to cybersecurity, then these processes are already part of that. But on the other hand, as a part of the compliance to ISO 21434, you also need a cybersecurity audit, which is defined according to the standard 21434 standard. So there also you have to once again go through that audit. But if you have the processes clearly defined and lived according to this particular process landscape, in my opinion, more or less that is also sufficient for you to, pass through cybersecurity audit. There could be here and there deltas. I think that is something we have to check, but more or less this satisfies also the requirements of the cybersecurity audit. Disclaimer, without going too much deep into what is the prerequisites of the cybersecurity audit. So my statements are mainly coming based on the experience what we had in the past when it comes to functional safety audit and the ASPICE. So that's where we have seen this kind of a relationship.